Hey, 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 everybody. Anthony Fantano here, the internet's most political music nerd. I hope you're doing well. You guys are crazy. Hey, listen. Former President Barack Obama engaged in his annual, I guess, tradition of going onto Facebook or just going onto the internet and listing out some of his favorite music and books of the year. He's been doing this year after year after year. And he listed his favorite songs of 2017. So let's get into those songs. He also listed some books. Hey, if you guys want to know that, go on his Facebook page, and you can also see them here. Pause if you want to see all that. If you're more of a literature bug, more of a bookworm. But this is a music channel, however. We're going to talk about the songs. Let's scroll down here to his favorite song of 2017. I got to say, the picks here are pretty... I mean, his picks in the past have usually been pretty contemporary. You know what I mean? They're usually pretty contemporary. But, like, just how trendy some of this stuff is pretty surprising. I'm wondering if he's just going to the front page of iTunes and stumbling across a lot of this stuff, or does he have like a team of very well-paid hipsters that just kind of like keep up on all these trends, or are his daughters like turning him on to a lot of this stuff? I'm not entirely sure because a lot of this stuff is very up to date. It's very up to date, and some of this stuff, if you weren't paying close attention, like Chanel by Frank Ocean is in the list here, or maybe even Feel It Still by Portugal the Man. Although maybe he saw the Grammy nod for Portugal the Man in a little bit ago. I'm not entirely sure how he's finding out about a lot of this stuff. You know, it's not super obscure, but you figure the man's very busy and he's not keeping up on a lot of new stuff. But in fact, it seems like he is. So let's go through these picks. And I'm actually going to be as bold as to make a few suggestions. Because, hey, Mr. President, listen, I know you have that team of hipsters, but trust me, I'm a professional, okay? I'm a professional. I do these suggestions professionally. But here we go. First off, we have Gente by J Balvin and Willie William. Admittedly, have not heard that track. However, Camila Cabello with Havana, featuring Young Thug, is actually kind of an interesting choice. Nice to see Blessed by Daniel Caesar on here. It seems like a lot of people have been just crazy for Daniel Caesar this year. He's been one of the biggest up-and-coming artists of 2017. I reviewed his record. I thought it was pretty decent. Cool to see Obama is into kind of the contemporary soulful R&B stylings of his record with the kind of subtle gospel influences floating around here and there. The Joke by Brandi Carlile. Did not expect to see this one. Brandi is actually a folk singer who has a record coming out in 2018. It's pretty good, the song The Joke. Like, it's a very passionate, very dreary song. Nice to see that he's kind of keeping up on the the folk singer racket. It would be cool if she kind of blew up this year off of this cosign. And I wonder if what's more valuable to a musician is it like an industry cosign for somebody who's like a bigger folk singer, like maybe if like a Neil Young came out and said, "Hey guys, listen to the new Brandi Carlile." Is it that's valuable, or is it like more of a presidential cosign? Literally, Barack Obama came in to say, "Hey, listen to Brandi Carlile, guys." First World Problems by Chance the Rapper with Daniel Caesar. Not my favorite Chance the Rapper song. However, it is one of his bigger tracks of the year, kind of one of the bigger tracks of his that popped up this year. Andra Day, Rise Up. What floors me, though, is Wild Thoughts by DJ Khaled with Rihanna and Bryson Tiller. I'm just imagining Barack Obama singing along to the Rihanna feature. Oh, God. I mean, admittedly, I like the track, too. I think Rihanna mostly makes the track. I think there are a lot of shortcomings about the track. Like, I think the way that Santana guitar bit is sampled sounds like crap. The beat is pretty mediocre, too. To me, it's a song that succeeds despite its major flaws. I'm just kind of curious as to what Obama thinks about a lot of the aspects of that song, specifically the Riri feature. if he really gets down with that when that pops on. Jay-Z, Family Feud. I'm not really surprised by this. 444 is a pretty safe rap record. It's kind of like a grown man rap record, so it's not surprising to see a grown man enjoying it. Of course, Kendrick Lamar had to make it on this list. I believe his last or the previous list that he did, Kendrick Lamar was also on there. How Much a Dollar Cost, I believe he cited as being one of his favorite songs of the year. And of course, now he's saying humble. Sit down, be humble. This song as well, I'm pretty curious as to, does Obama sing along when he's listening to it? Most likely, because a lot of people do, and I just find the idea of Obama singing along to this song hilarious. Moving on from here, I'm actually not familiar with this pick at all. I'm actually curious. I need to Google this as soon as this is through, but I guarantee it is 10 times more likely that it's more interesting, or I guess it's likely to be 10 times more interesting than this French Montana song with Sway Lee. Jesus Christ, this is not one of Montana's better tracks, and did not know that Obama got down with the Ray Shremmerd features. So whatever. Nice to see the National on here. Little sleepy, slightly political indie rock creeping into the list. Seems like he's kind of getting all the NPR essentials in here. It's not bad though. It's not a bad pick. It's a good record. It's probably one of the National's better records. I will say that. Chanel by Frank Ocean, like I said earlier, I felt like this was one of their more bland records, but still, shout out to Portugal the Man. It's nice. It's probably very nice to have a presidential cosign there for them. I wonder what it means in terms of streams and record sales. Does anybody go out and stream these records? Mr. President, you have to provide a Spotify playlist. Honestly, you have to provide a Spotify playlist so that all these artists get their cash. Travis Scott, Butterfly Effect, one of his weaker songs in my opinion. I have no idea what the president sees in Mr. Scott's latest material. Again, might be sort of a pick or more of something that his daughters have turned on to him. But hey, I don't want to count the guy out. Maybe he's out there every day. He's got a little free time. He's not in the Oval Office anymore. He's getting that big bank speech money. He's probably got some time to sit around and just be like, just looking through the top played songs on the iTunes charts. Very nice to see Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings in here. That was a great record, and that, given Obama's previous picks for these recent lists, I'm not surprised to see it on here. Also, the new Mavis Staples, not surprised to see that on here either. Totally saw that as being up his alley. Millionaire by Chris Stapleton. Not one of my favorite tracks from him, but that is a good record, and it's cool to see him keeping up with the quality country picks. Sign of the Times, easily the best track on that whole Harry Styles record, so that's a nice pick. Broken Clocks by SZA. Nice to see that Obama is keeping up on the Top Dog Entertainment, the other members of the roster, not just Kendrick, and Control is easily the best, if not one of the better R&B records of the year. Ugh, and somehow U2 made it on the list. It's picks like this that say, come on, man. This is like such a stereotypical, I'm an old guy, I'm just going to pick the most relevant old guy band out there. Come on, man. It's not a good track. It's not a good record. It's mediocre at best. Let's not torture ourselves by listening to the new U2. Okay? That's all I'm saying. That might sound a little pretentious, but it's my professional opinion, okay? So let me make a few bold suggestions here, okay? Which I think may go over given some of Obama's picks here. And you guys have all seen these on my favorite albums of the year list, which we'll link at the end of this video. Mr. President, given the sleepy, spacey, indie rock stylings of the National, and he also had some country and folk music on here too, I think you should totally check out Father John Misty's Pure Comedy. Very political and socially charged record. Might even bring a tear to your eye at some points. Definitely a grand statement on the human condition with a very theatrical background music. Very kind of long record too. It is kind of epic, so you're going to kind of be in it for the long haul if you listen to the whole thing. But, even if you don't listen to the whole thing, I recommend the title track itself that kicks the entire record off. You may get a lot out of that. Listen to any of the 3 Saturation records that Brockhampton came out with this year. Up-and-coming hip-hop group with a lot of flavor, a lot of personality, creative production, a lot of different members, and a lot of different voices and rap styles throughout this thing. So, these 3 projects, and if you're going to go into a particular single or one particular track, I'd recommend Gold right off the bat, or the song Star. You're probably going to have a lot of fun with those tracks. Big Crit, Forever is a Mighty Long Time. If you're into some of these, like, grown man rap records that you've endorsed on this list, you are most likely going to enjoy this one as well. A lot of thoughtful tracks on this one, and it's got a huge banging southern flavor, some gospel undertones, some R&B undertones, a lot of very melodic cuts on the second disc because it's a 2-disc project. I recommend trying out the track Keep the Devil Off, which is a huge, like, deep fried in gospel rap track that has some very passionate and huge and gargantuan background vocals. Algiers, The Underside of Power, kind of a bit more of a revolutionary rock band with elements of soul and gospel and blues being mixed with post-punk and punk rock. One of my favorite records of the year. I'm not sure if you'll be into the very, very edgy politics of this record. I'm not going to say edgy. I'm going to say let's just say Algiers would most likely be running the country far to the left of you if they were in the position of power that you had been for 8 years. Let's just say that. And finally, Rosalia, a Spanish folk and flamenco artist, incredible vocal powerhouse. I don't know what your Spanish levels are at, sir. They're most likely very good. You had to have a lot of contact with foreign dignitaries, probably, if I'm using that word correctly. So most likely it's good. I'm not sure how much of it you're going to pick up on this record because really it's more about the vocal performances than it is just simply about the lyrics. But this is some really great, powerful folk music. And it's mostly just vocals and Spanish guitar, both of which are just performed so excellently. Stunningly beautiful. Vocal stunner, this album. I swear to you, vocal stunner. And it's one of the more obscure projects of the year, too. Sad to see not more people kind of getting on board with this record. But it is a really powerful and emotionally jarring listen. All right, and those are my suggestions, Mr. President. Hit me up, Anthony@theneedledrop.com. Email me back if you check these out. Let me know what you thought. And that's an invite to Barack Obama, not to you guys. Don't email me. Do not email me, okay? And let me know if you want to have a bit of a powwow music listening sesh, okay? And we'll spin some records. I got a nice stereo over here, although I'm sure you have a nice stereo as well, Mr. President. Over here, next to my head, we have another video that you can check out, or you can click on the link to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next one. Anthony Fantano, music suggestions, President Obama. I'm out.